Hey, everyone. I'm Annie Dickerson, and on behalf of the entire Goodegg Investments team, I wanted to welcome you to this episode of The Life and Money Show, the show where we talk about everything from investing to financial freedom to parenting, traveling, creating a life by design, and everything in between. I'm here with my amazing co-host, Susan Elliott. Susan, why don't you start by sharing with everybody a little bit about what we're going to be talking about today?
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Well, today is a really fun episode because we're going to be talking a little bit more about the how of financial independence. So last week we talked about why, developing your why for even starting the journey of financial independence, but also checking back in on your why as you go to keep your motivation up. But today we're going to dive in a little bit more of the nitty gritty, some tips and tricks and philosophies around how people reach financial independence. And the best part of today's show is that we got to talk to one of the brightest and most happiest human beings I have ever spoken to. His name is Wojtek, and you'll hear him today talking a little bit about his personal journey of how he's pursuing financial independence, how he's, putting all the pieces together. And it's going to be a great show.
All right. Well, without further ado, let's dive into our conversation with Wojtek Starakiewicz. Wojtek, welcome to the show. How are you today?
I'm fantastic. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I listened to many of the episodes. I love it. I just hope I can hold that bar high,
Well, we're thrilled to have you here for you to share your story with us and our listeners today. Can you start by telling us just a little bit about you, maybe your family, where you're from, and a little bit about your business?
Yeah, it's fantastic. So I was born and raised in Poland. So I'm not faking this accent, just for all of you there. And I was trying to be a professional tennis player, didn't quite make it. At age 18, 19, I realized with some injuries that I have to change my path, that it's not going to go the right way. And I was lucky enough to get across a player who was going to a D1 college in the United States. And until this moment, it wasn't really on my radar. And then I was like, you know what? This is the path. Let's give it a try. First ended up in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Wasn't really my place, and through different circumstances ended up in Buffalo, New York, where we are right now in the suburbs of Buffalo, New York. On the women's tennis team, there was a 6-foot-tall Indonesian tennis player named Denise. And we're 13 years later or so, married happily for 8. We have 3 children, and we did a 5-year stint in New York City, but then moved back to Buffalo, again, not to start from zero, because we're true immigrants, fresh off the airboat. We don't come with boats anymore, but the airboat. So we both of our families are fully in Indonesia and Poland. I have 2 older sisters, 7 nephews and nieces, happy to still have parents who come and visit often. Denise has 2 siblings in Indonesia. So we're truly our children are 50% Polish, 50% Indonesian, and 100% American, right? So
and they probably, all 3 of them, came out of the womb with a racket attached to their hands already.
Absolutely. That was the major struggle during childbirth for my wife. But no. Our eldest son, his name is Ace. Right. So we gotta keep the certain vibe going. Now, just my last name is so long and so difficult that we wanted to be kind to our children. So the names are all shorter. So we have Ace, Sky, and Hugh. We have 3 children, all under age 5. So a busy household, a lot going on. And I was doing different things in tennis world, and then I decided to really dive into working with 12 and under children. I always seen myself as an educator, as somebody who wanted to make an impact on the life of others and on children. And to me, my vehicle was tennis. I also felt like tennis has given me so much in my life, to me and Denise, and I really wanted to give back to the sport itself and to children. The tennis world for 12 and under is not quite where I hope it could be. So I didn't want to complain about it. I decided, what can I do about it? So I have created a company called Goodegg right here. stands for red, orange, green. ACE, which are red, orange, green, are stages of development of children in tennis. And we are about 5 years in. And the vision and the hope is to make it into a franchise one day. So that's what I'm doing my little business path on that side, and then trying to do other things.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I love to hear how that manifested. You know, you both came from abroad and you built your family here. You're 100% Americans, but you're taking a passion and you're saying, how can I help other people do that? I think that is something that strikes us at Goodegg so heavily, because that's where all of our paths have led to as well. So I love the commitment to integrity and how that parallels with living a meaningful life, making meaningful impact on people, truly meaningful, meaning that it's coming from your heart is what you're saying. And then what most people don't bridge, maybe they have all of those sentiments, but then like, how can that help me pursue financial independence? Or how can I take those principles and those feelings to pursue financial independence? And, you know, you've got the whole how in there, how I'm going to be doing that. You're uplifting communities as you do this, Wojtek. So you're reaching out on those community forums. You're helping other people. You may be getting a ton of information, connecting all the dots, learning about things, being able to use those tactics to progress down the path towards FI, but you're also uplifting other people as you go. That is amazing. It's beautiful. What other tip would you give anyone who is starting out on this journey towards financial independence?
Number one is knowledge. Knowledge. Be open. I watch no TV, less than a half an hour of Netflix. I listen to music rarely, and it's just everywhere I go, it's a podcast, it's a book. And I'm not saying I'm trying to sound like I'm doing all these amazing things, but I'm just trying to really be focused on what am I letting in, and what type of energy I want to surround myself with. And so I'm trying to look for mentors, look for good information, look for all types of information, and read a lot. There's so much good stuff. Find right people, find a community to support you. People who don't support you, keep them if they are very close to you, whatever. But just understand that, for example, for investment, you have to find other people. So, that's sort of, and just keep the positive energy.
But, Wojtek, what I love about your story is, you and your wife have made this great life for yourselves and your kids, and you're doing something that's in line with your passion for tennis and community and impact. But you didn't stop there. You said, wait a second, I think there's something more. I think there's something beyond this. And you opened your eyes and you dared to go beyond where most people stop. And then on top of that, then you said, okay, I'm going to pursue this thing, financial independence. I want to grow our wealth, but I want to be very intentional about it. And you tried, and with the short-term rentals, you were like, okay, I get it, but this won't fit my lifestyle. And here's why. Okay, now I know better what I am looking for. Okay, now when this other thing came along, you're like, okay, this actually fits better into the mold of what I'm looking for. And at that point, you already had this base of knowledge, so you could ask better questions and get to that readiness faster. So I love this trajectory. Everything happens for a reason. So even though you didn't get involved with short-term rentals, it was clearly a stepping stone to get to where you are now.
100%. Yeah. And to just add another quick thought is, you guys talk about fire, right? And the interesting thing is that the moment I joined this financial independence journey, I realized the journey itself, I'm loving it. There's no place I would rather be than right here, right now, where I am. There's no more. When I was younger, I was thinking, the retirement, the this, the that, right? Like I'm trying to get to some magical number. I do have one number in my head. I want to donate at least $1 million with my wife and our family over our lifetime. So that's the only number I have in my head. And obviously, to donate that, you have to make much more. But I don't care how much I make. I just want to donate. But the point itself is, I truly feel right now is that there's so many cool, exciting projects that I'm getting involved with through thanks to your guys' approach of financial independence, it allowed all these avenues of doing other cool things. And this is such a reward in itself that I don't want to change anything. I want to keep doing this. I want to go maybe to a few more vacations. I want to do this and that, but like, then I want to get back right into it. Like I'm just loving it. You know, it's so much fun. There's all these projects, foundations that, you know, we talked, and off record, we talk about the junior achievement. I'm getting more involved with that. It's just awesome. There's so many cool things happening. I'm loving it.
I love it. That's what happens
so good to
when you
hear.
get right into that flow state and everything starts lining up for you.